Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a disassembly for you of this little guy right here. This is the Knafs, which is that's the new brand started by Ben Peterson, who is the designer of the Wee Knives Banter and Civivi Baby Banter, as well as formerly known as one of the faces of Blade HQ and whatnot. So what is up, guys? Sorry, Ben, that was bad. But anyways, hence the Weog down here. That's what is up, guys. But anyways, this is a new knife that's come out from Ben, and it's interesting in that it is a very budget-focused piece, but it has a neat trick, which is swappable scales. Ben included, by the way, this was sent to me by Ben, and he included an extra set of scales here in purple. And you know what? Cool. Okay, let's give it a try. So what my goal here today is two things. First off, to see if I can swap on these scales, see what that ends up looking like. The other issue is that when I got this guy out of the box, unfortunately, the pivot was over-tightened. And I don't just mean over-tightened. I mean that they must have had a freaking, cybernetic creature, one of those 10,000-pound, movable pallet-moving robots talking on this thing. This was just way too tightened. And as a result, unfortunately, the action of it is very kind of bumpy in there. I'm sort of hoping that I'm going to be able to flip the washer or something like that. Or the other possibility is that there's some kind of, debris inside there. But either way, I'm going to take it apart here. Want to see what we can do for that action. But we'll start off by getting in here. My bet here is that I don't have to remove the pivot here to take everything apart, although I will, to take everything apart I will, but I'm hoping that I should be able to pop this guy loose. So I'll take this out, and I'll put that down there. I'll take this out and put this here. This is sort of taking a page out of the Three Rivers playbook. They have done the Neutron and Atom, which have been designed sort of from the ground up to be scale swappable with ease at home. So that's a beautiful thing. Oh, okay, so he's got the little... so it is literally doing exactly the same thing. The core of this knife, then, is not actually... the core of this knife doesn't require the scales at all. Right, the clip obviously is attached to the scales and whatnot, but it looks like the internal mechanism here is completely independent of the scale. And so at this point, if I were trying to swap on the scale, I could just drop this guy right on here and snap everything in place, put it back together. It's attractive. Yeah, I'm definitely going to stick with the purple. I think that's pretty neat looking. Bit of a Knife Nuts podcast thing going on there with the purple, which, it's a great show. I appreciate those folks, as I appreciate Ben. Ben is one of those folks who I have to admit there is a bias in favor of, just because he has been throughout, as you can kind of imagine, especially back in the days when he was working for a major knife retailer. Major knife retailers feel many things about me, and some of them good on occasion, but it can be very frustrating when negative reviews come out on something you have a bunch of money invested in. And so there have been occasionally contentious conversations had with knife retailers, but Ben was always very much straightforward and open with me, and it was always kind. Every time I've met him, every time I've interacted with him, which has become a bunch of times now, given that we're both in this community, Ben has been nothing but a stand-up guy, and so I will admit that I am certainly sort of inclined to appreciate his work and kindness a little bit more than some, but I'm doing my best not to let that affect my review. Anyways, so what we see here is that if I wanted to just swap the scales, I'm done. Well, no, I'm not done at all. I would need to just put the scales back on, and then I would put in these 8 screws here. See, put the clip back in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with the spacer in place. So at this point, if I was just looking to swap the clip, swap the scales, I'm done. That's a beautiful thing. I'm a little bit feeling weird about using T6 on something you're going to have to swap a bunch. Right? I get that it's a smaller knife, and it is very much a smaller knife, but still, that's terrifying to me. Right? Because if one of those screws strips out, then you got yourself a problem. Okay, I'm going to move this screw up top there, and we'll put this one over here. Now I'm taking the knife fully apart, and we'll take it from there. Hopefully you all can't hear that shh in the background too loudly. I am doing some upgrades. Okay, so let's take a look-see here. It looks like on this liner here, I'm using a pad with some rubbing alcohol, and if you're curious about any of the tools I'm using today, Check out nickshabazz.com/tools. Yeah, so it looks like what happened is that this was cranked down so tightly that it kind of, well, certainly it just punched right through the paint there. And so it also looks like there's a little tiny bit of dimpling. Here, let me see if I can zoom in and show this off, maybe? It looks like little tiny bits of dimpling inside there. And this is what happens when you over-tighten small bearings into a liner, right? It may be that there could be, wow, that's committal. But, oh yeah, see, look, we see the paint here is completely, like the paint off the liners was kind of ground up from the over-tightening and from using it in that state. Hopefully there's no dimpling on the blade, because if the blade itself is dimpled, that's kind of concerning from a softness perspective, right? Well, hardness, I suppose. Those two words, of course, being operationally opposite. But anyways, moving along, putting antinomy aside. Hopefully, though, the blade is harder, and therefore it would be... Oh, and interesting. It looks like that's just... I think that's just a machining mark. Is there actually a discontinuity there? There is. Can you see what I'm pointing at here? This little area, it kind of looks like QSP or whoever ended up making these guys. I think it's QSP. There's a discontinuity there. Looks like they tried to drill a hole and they started here and then... So this is actually a quality control fail from the looks of it. I mean, maybe not a fail, but it's sure as heck not their finest work. But okay, so that too could be giving me the cobblestoney feeling that I'm feeling, because it's kind of rolling over. Yeah, and it looks like that's only on one side. So we got two issues here, two big issues, one of which is that the pivot was just way too tightened. And that in turn tore up this paint, which then in turn got all up inside the business of the... Yeah, do we have a similar issue? Yeah, little tiny bits of dimpling here and there. So that's causing part of the lack of smoothness. The other issue is that discontinuity in the blade itself. Now I'm just cleaning the pivot off. And it's very important that I'm getting in here to clean. I think this is going to run a lot better afterwards, just because if all of that paint got torn up by the washers there, we kind of have to assume that the washers that went somewhere, and that somewhere is probably into the bearings and whatnot. Yeah. But I'm probably still going to get some bumpiness here, partly because there are little tiny bumps where it was over-tightened, and partly because there is that discontinuity in the machining itself inside the blade there. Not ideal, but maybe the price is right. I hope the price is right. I know that this is a budget-friendly knife. That is sort of it is a part of its MO, so to speak. And so as a result, I'm assuming it's there, but I haven't yet looked up the prices. This is something that a lot of people, oh my God. But the thing is, it's actually very valuable for me not to know the price of something until I've carried it and used it. Because that gives me a sense of what the price probably should be, right? If I'm carrying something and it's like, wow, this is performing like a $200 knife, and I say, wow, I can see this going for $200, and it turns out that it's, only $150, that's great. And so there's just less priming involved. But, yeah, so anyways, I'm thinking, what's that action? I'm looking at this area up here. Is that rustification? Rustian? It is D2. I don't know what that is. That looks like it could be a little spot of rust. Kind of has the right color for it. Yeah, two little spots of rust up there. Okay, let's see if I can get this with a polishing cloth. This is not necessary, of course. Right, this isn't hurting anybody up here. Yeah, okay. Looks like a little tiny spot of rust up there. Nothing on the other side. All right. So be it. Maybe, to be clear, right, I'm not taking a super strong stance that, oh my God, that was rust, right? I mean, it could have just been some other kind of discoloration, but with D2 and on a budgety piece, yeah, it's possible. All right, there's that. Okay, what's next here? I am putting everything back together. I think I'm going to need to, lift the lock bar slightly. So the strange thing is that I'm doing all of this first with the pivot. And you can see, by the way, that the pivot was tightened so much that it even wore into the outside of the paint. Like, whoever did that was like the Incredible Hulk of knife assemblers. I'm sort of impressed. This is a T8 screw here. By the way, I don't know if I did my plug already, but if you're curious about any of the tools I'm using, nickshabazz.com/tools, except for the lubrication, which you will not find there yet. This is some lubrication that I am beta testing effectively, and I'm not quite ready to talk about, but so far it seems to be roughly equivalent to your knife pivot lube, KPL, as well as your nano oil in terms of functionality. So keep your eyes peeled, but for the moment, if you're looking for that particular bottle up on the nickshabazz.com/tools, you're not going to find it, and that's okay. All right, come on now. The effect size of lubrication is very small. Like, the presence of it is valuable in my estimation, but, oh, there, that was a little sketchy. But how, different brands and whatnot, not super meaningfully different. I've got preferences, but that doesn't mean it's like, oh my God. So, yeah, all right. Let's tighten this up, and I should zoom back out while I'm thinking about it here, because, dude, zoom. All right, there we go. Tightened. All right, where are we at here? I have slightly over-tightened. Did I? Yeah, maybe. Centering is now off, so I'm going to assume I've over-tightened a little. Yeah, now the centering, well, actually, centering is still a little weird, and we have a little play. So I'm assuming then that what I need to do is tighten things down so there's no play. Yeah, see, I'm still feeling that discontinuity. I'm still feeling the rumbliness to it. Not the end of the world, but it's a thing. But what I need to do now, then, is I'm going to go ahead and loosen these screws again, because I'm assuming that when I tightened everything up, I sort of did it wrong with respect to... there we go. Now we're closer to centered. Let's work it a couple of times. Yeah, so what I effectively did there is I kind of put a little bit of pressure on the handles, and because these... yeah, that'll work. Because these handles are relatively thin, that's fine. And then I retightened my screws here in the back, and what that effectively meant is that everything went into center. So be it. It may drift back out of center once I, well, A, over time, and B, once I put the scales on there. But, nonetheless. Okay. Now, here comes a point where I got to think real quick. I need to put on both scales. This is the show side in my pocket. The clip goes on this side. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting screws back in place. Using some blue thread locker here. One of the things that is really nice and that really impresses me, and that I think is actually a brilliant decision on Ben's part too, is that he has released the CAD files to produce these scales. What this has meant is that in a few days since the Lander's release, the folks on my Patreon Discord, which is a great community in and of itself, but have already begun making custom scales, like 3D printing scales for this. And that is amazing community buy-in, right? If people can buy a knife and then make each other scales for it, oh boy, Ben, that was smart, right? A lot of people, oh my God, I can charge more if I... No, I'm sorry. I mean, yes, you probably can, but that's because you're a jerk, right? Making these things freely available puts the knife in the hands of the community and makes it a community project, and that's much more interesting. Honestly, that's the thing that is making this like, oh yeah, I should check this out, is exactly that feature, right? This becomes... It sort of democratizes scale making in a way that is sort of, somebody who doesn't have a lot of, shall we say, somebody who's not like a master carpenter who's able to carve out, scales, very precisely on their own. Somebody who may not have access to, 3D scanning or even high-end modeling technology, modeling in the sense of computer modeling, not modeling in the sense of Command Vogue, although maybe they got both. Who knows? But nonetheless, just being able to let that be a thing that anybody can do. Yeah, see, once I put my scale on here, we've drifted again slightly back off center. So, a bit of a shame, but also not a bit of a shock, especially given the weird deformations there. But what we now have is a knife wearing an entirely different set of pants. Right, I switched from the blue to the purple. Everything looks good. Feeling-wise, it's running pretty okay. There is still that weird discontinuity. It's getting a little better. I think when I first loosened it up, the paint was up in there. And so carrying it and using it made that crunchiness a lot worse and the cobblestoning. But there is definitely still, this is not a, I mean, it's smooth enough, but it's not a particularly smooth knife. But yeah, on the whole, it is definitely better. Cleaning that out did it a lot of good. Lockup is solid, no play in any direction. Centering, favoring clip. It could well be that if I got in there and I swapped the washers around, the bearings around, or, did some more creative bending. Actually, I wonder, does that center me a little more? It kind of does, yeah. A little bit of bending that way did the trick, so... Oh, no, now we're back to slightly... Anyways, I'm being nitpicky for a knife of what I assume to be a pretty budget price. But anyways, there you go. So that's the disassembly on the Lander here. Very interesting. More so in what is possible with it than I think what is on the table right now. Right? The idea of that community involvement is not something that has really happened before in terms of making files available to make it easy. And is something that really should happen a lot in the future. I think that's a brilliant idea, and especially in an era where we got major manufacturers sending cease and desists to people recreating their scales. Oh boy, this is the better approach. So anyways, there you go. Keep an eye out. I'll carry this guy for a full review. I'm really curious about it. It's small. Oh boy, is it small. But it certainly works, and so we'll take it from there. Hope this has been interesting. Have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.